If you think about it, all the way through the Bible, that is the case. If you can explain what's going on, the chances are that God didn't do it. So let's say we landed in Jericho, and we said, what is going on here? Somebody said, well, frankly, I've got a clue myself, but they've taken to just keeping walking round and round this place. And it seems a futile exercise to me. And then, of course, the walls came down. And they looked on and they realized this is something that God has done. We have sung about that hill and that tomb and that scattered landscape. And into that, here is something that God has done. He was laid in the grave. People concluded that the whole story was over, brought to an end in a Palestinian tomb, and it was all collapsed, even some of the disciples themselves. But then, suddenly, the songs emerged, and the music began to play, and the laughter began. And not only did the watching world know, but they themselves knew, and then they said, that's the people of God, the Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad. Are you glad tonight? Part of the fruit of the Spirit is, of course, joy. A genuine, deep-seated reality that is not dependent on the moving of circumstances. Whether I'm happy in my relationships, whether I am successful in my studies, whether I am clear about my future or not, that even in the midst of that, there's a wonderful line or two in a hymn. Actually, the hymn begins, "My God, I thank thee who has made the earth so bright." And it goes on from there. And at one point in the hymn writer says, "I thank thee too that all my joy is touched with pain, that shadows fall on brightest hours and thorns remain, so that earth's bliss may be my guide and not my chain." And the joy that emerges here in the first section of this psalm is the joy of those who are reliving the wonder of what God has done. And that's the story of our conversion, isn't it? That God has brought us out of bondage, brought us out of sterility, brought us out of our own selfish preoccupations. He's put a new song in our hearts, a song of praise to him. And it emerges, and we join with others who share that same joy.